Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, I'm excited to take you on an incredible journey through one of the most fascinating coins ever minted in the United States, the iconic $quarter issued in 1976 to celebrate the bicentennial of American independence. This coin is no ordinary quarter. It carries with it 2 centuries of history, symbolism, and artistry, making it a prized possession for collectors around the world. So, listen closely as we uncover the amazing story behind the 1776 to 1976 United States $quarter, explore its unique features, and reveal why some of these coins could be worth an astonishing $96,000. The bicentennial quarter was created to mark a monumental moment in American history, the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. This coin was specially minted with dual dates, 1776 to 1976, symbolizing the journey from the birth of the nation to its modern era. Unlike regular quarters, the bicentennial quarter features a completely redesigned reverse side showcasing a colonial drummer, embodying the spirit of the American Revolution. This powerful image evokes the bravery and determination of the patriots who fought for freedom. Meanwhile, the obverse side retains the familiar portrait of George Washington, a steadfast reminder of the nation's founding father. These design choices make the bicentennial quarter not just currency, but a piece of history you can hold in your hand. What makes the bicentennial quarter so fascinating to collectors goes beyond its historic design. It was minted in massive quantities, millions were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and also as a special silver version at the San Francisco Mint. However, despite the huge numbers, finding coins in pristine, uncirculated condition is becoming increasingly difficult as time goes on. Coins that show no signs of wear, scratches, or handling are highly sought after and command premium prices. But that's not all. There are rare error coins from this series that elevate their value to another level. Some bicentennial quarters were struck with double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet flaws. These minting errors create unique variations that are extremely scarce and therefore incredibly valuable. For coin collectors, error coins are like hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. The 1976 bicentennial quarter has several known errors that can dramatically boost its market price. For example, the rare double die obverse error causes the date and lettering to appear doubled, a striking anomaly that collectors drool over. There are also off-center strikes where the design is noticeably shifted from the center of the coin, making each piece one of a kind. Even slight differences in the silver content of some proofs or special mint sets can make those particular quarters far more desirable. These variants are the holy grail for serious collectors who know that the rarer the error, the higher the price it can command. Now, let's talk about the value. While most bicentennial quarters you'll find today are worth just a few dollars or even less, a truly rare and flawless error coin from this series can fetch an eye-popping $96,000. Imagine that, just a small, seemingly ordinary quarter could be worth enough to buy a luxury car or even a house down payment. This incredible value is due to a perfect storm of historical significance, rarity, pristine condition, and the thrill of possessing a minting mistake that few others have. For collectors and investors alike, owning such a coin is like holding a piece of American history that also represents a potentially life-changing investment. So, if you happen to find a 1976 bicentennial quarter in your collection or at a flea market, do not overlook it. Examine it carefully for any unusual markings, errors, or exceptional condition. These small details could mean the difference between an everyday quarter and a rare treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Remember, the coin market can be unpredictable, but pieces with deep historical roots and minting anomalies almost always hold their value and often appreciate over time. This quarter isn't just pocket change, it's a symbol of America's enduring spirit and a golden opportunity for coin collectors everywhere. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the amazing world of the United States bicentennial quarter. If you enjoyed this journey and want to uncover more fascinating stories about rare coins and their incredible values, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Stay curious, keep collecting, and who knows? Maybe your next coin will be the one that changes your life forever. Top 2, we're diving deep into a fascinating and often overlooked treasure, the United States 1986 quarter dollar with the P mint mark. This particular coin might seem like just another everyday quarter, but trust me, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. For those of you who love the thrill of discovering rare coins and understanding what makes them valuable, this video is a must-watch. So, sit back, pay close attention, and enjoy as we unravel the story behind this intriguing piece and its incredible worth. The 1986 quarter is part of the long-running series of Washington quarters, but what makes the 1986 P mint mark coin stand out is not just its age or design, but the subtle details that have made certain examples exceptionally rare. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the P mark, these coins were struck in enormous quantities for everyday use. Yet, over time, collectors began to notice something unusual. While most 1986 quarters look ordinary, a few bear unique characteristics or minting errors that instantly elevate their status and value among numismatists. It's fascinating how a small detail on a coin can transform it from common currency to a coveted collectible. What are these rare features and errors that make the 1986 P quarter so special? Well, some of these coins show minting anomalies such as double die errors, where the design elements or lettering appear doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. Others have off-center strikes, where the image is noticeably shifted, resulting in a coin that looks distorted but incredibly rare. Even subtle differences like die cracks, where tiny fractures appear on the coin's surface, or variations in the metal composition have sparked excitement among collectors. Each of these flaws creates a story and rarity that can significantly boost the coin's desirability and price. Collectors are always hunting for these rare mint errors because they represent a break from perfection, a glimpse into the complex and fascinating process of coin production. The 1986 P quarters errors are especially prized because they are scarce, and the coin's condition plays a huge role in its value. A quarter with clear, sharp details and minimal wear commands a much higher price than one that has circulated heavily and lost its luster. When you combine rarity with pristine condition, you have a recipe for a highly sought-after collectible that can fetch serious money in the coin market. Now, let's get to the part everyone is waiting for, the value of these rare 1986 P quarters. While typical quarters from this year are worth just their face value, a genuine error coin or one in flawless mint state can be worth an astonishing $75,000. That's right, a single 1986 P quarter, if it has the right rare error and is preserved in exceptional condition, could be worth enough to change someone's financial future completely. The combination of rarity, historical significance, and the collector demand drives the price to these incredible heights. So, what should you do if you happen to come across a 1986 quarter with a Philadelphia mint mark? Examine it closely, ideally with a magnifying glass, looking for any unusual doubling, misprints, or off-center designs. Don't underestimate the value of a coin that looks slightly off. Sometimes, the tiniest imperfections hold the biggest surprises. And if you believe you have found one of these rare gems, it's a great idea to have it authenticated and graded by a professional coin service. That way, you can be confident in its condition and true worth, which could be quite substantial. Top 3, we're diving into a captivating story about a seemingly ordinary coin that holds extraordinary value, the United States 1990 quarter dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark. At first glance, this coin might look like any other quarter in your pocket, but if you listen closely, you'll discover a treasure trove of fascinating details and rare features that make certain 1990 P quarters incredibly valuable and sought after by collectors worldwide. So, buckle up and get ready for a deep dive into the world of mint errors, rarity, and why this small coin could be worth much more than you ever imagined. The 1990 quarter was produced during a period of steady coinage from the Philadelphia Mint, striking millions of coins for everyday circulation. Despite the huge numbers, some of these quarters are rare and highly prized due to unique minting anomalies and exceptional preservation. Unlike many mass-produced coins that wear out or get lost over time, a few 1990 P quarters have survived in pristine condition, making them jewels for collectors who recognize their hidden worth. The Philadelphia Mint mark P on this quarter signals its origin, but the true magic lies in the subtle errors and rare features that can be found on some of these coins. Now, let's talk about what makes some 1990 P quarters stand out in the vast sea of coins. The primary reason for their rarity is mint errors, including the elusive double die, where you can see a clear doubling of the date, lettering, or design elements due to misalignment during the minting process. This doubling creates a striking visual effect that immediately attracts collectors because it's a clear sign of a minting mishap, which is always a hot commodity in the numismatic world. Other rare errors include off-center strikes where the coin's design is noticeably shifted from the center, and die cracks or chips that add uniqueness to the coin's surface. These imperfections make each error coin a one-of-a-kind collectible, instantly increasing its value far beyond its face value. Collectors love these error coins because they tell a story of the minting process and remind us that even machines aren't perfect. For the 1990 P quarter, coins that show these anomalies in flawless, uncirculated condition are particularly precious. When a coin has sharp details, no signs of wear, and these rare error features, it becomes a prime candidate for commanding top dollar in auctions and private sales. The combination of rarity, condition, and error type creates a potent mix that collectors seek out passionately. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value. While most 1990 quarters with the Philadelphia P mint mark are worth little more than their face value, the rare error versions or those in perfect mint condition can be worth an incredible $75,000. Yes, you heard that right. Just one small quarter from 1990, if it possesses the right error and remains in impeccable condition, could be worth enough to completely change a collector's financial outlook. This staggering value is driven by the coin's rarity, condition, and the high demand from collectors who recognize these unique coins as true treasures. If you ever find a 1990 P quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. Use a magnifying glass to check for any doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual markings that could indicate an error. Don't overlook subtle differences, they could be the key to owning one of the most valuable quarters out there. If you believe you have an error coin or a near-perfect specimen, it's wise to have it professionally graded and authenticated. This ensures you know exactly what you have and can get the best possible value when selling or trading. Top 4. We're turning back the clock to explore one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in American numismatics, the 1965 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it might just look like a typical quarter, but for those who know what to look for, this coin holds a fascinating story of transition, rarity, and potential fortune. So listen carefully, coin lovers, as we dive into what makes the 1965 quarter so special, uncover rare errors, and reveal why some of these coins can be worth an astonishing $88,000. The 1965 quarter holds a unique place in American coinage history. It marks the year the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in its quarters, moving to a copper-nickel-clad composition instead. This change was driven by the rising cost of silver, making 1965 a pivotal year for collectors because it was the first year of this new alloy. While millions of these quarters were produced for circulation, most are overlooked by collectors because they look ordinary. However, some 1965 quarters are incredibly rare and valuable, especially when they come from the early mint runs or show certain mint errors that are quite uncommon. This coin represents a key moment in U.S. monetary history, making it much more than just pocket change. One of the most fascinating things about the 1965 quarter is the range of mint errors that appear, making specific coins highly prized among collectors. For instance, some 1965 quarters have a double die error, where the date or lettering appears doubled, creating an unusual and eye-catching effect. These errors occurred because of misalignment during the striking process, making each of these coins one-of-a-kind collectibles. Other rare errors include weak strikes where parts of the design are faint or missing, as well as off-center strikes where the image is noticeably shifted, revealing a portion of the blank metal planchet. These mistakes, once considered flaws, have now become treasures that collectors search for obsessively. What truly sets the 1965 quarter apart is its rarity when found in mint condition with these errors. Most coins from this year were heavily circulated, making it difficult to find one free from wear or damage. But if you do come across a 1965 quarter with sharp details, no scratches, and a clear mint error, you're holding something very special. Coins preserved in such impeccable condition with these rare features can fetch prices that far exceed typical quarters from the era. This blend of history, rarity, and condition makes the 1965 quarter a thrilling and lucrative pursuit for numismatists and investors alike. Now, let's get to the big reveal: the value. While most 1965 quarters in circulation today are worth just a few cents, the rare error coins or uncirculated specimens from that year can be worth an incredible $88,000. Yes, you heard that right. That small coin you might find in your collection or loose change could be worth more than many expect, enough to change a collector's life overnight. This impressive value is the result of the coin's historical significance, minting anomalies, and the scarcity of well-preserved examples available on the market. So, what should you do if you find a 1965 quarter in your collection? Take a closer look at the date and lettering using a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling, off-center designs, or faint strikes that could indicate an error. Don't dismiss any unusual details as mere imperfections; they could be the key to discovering a rare and valuable coin. And if you think you have a valuable 1965 quarter, getting it professionally graded and authenticated is the best way to ensure you know exactly what you're holding and how much it's worth. Top 5. We're going to explore the fascinating world of the United States 1979 quarter with the Denver D mint mark, a coin that might look like just another everyday piece but holds some surprising secrets for those who know what to look for. The 1979 D quarter is part of the long-running Washington quarter series, but it has unique qualities and rare mint errors that make certain examples extremely valuable and sought after by collectors across the globe. So sit tight, listen closely, and enjoy as we dive deep into the history, rarity, and potential worth of this intriguing coin. The 1979 D quarter was minted in large numbers at the Denver Mint, making it one of the more common quarters you might find in circulation. However, what makes this coin truly fascinating is the presence of rare mint errors and varieties that collectors are always hunting for. While the majority of these quarters were produced perfectly, some coins came off the press with unexpected flaws such as doubling of the date or lettering, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These minting errors happen during the complex coin production process and have since become prized anomalies that add incredible value to the coin. For collectors, these errors transform the 1979 D quarter from everyday currency into a fascinating piece of mint history. One of the most notable errors found on the 1979 D quarter is the double die variety. In these coins, the doubling effect can be seen clearly on the date or the lettering, creating an eye-catching visual that immediately sets it apart. This doubling is caused by a misalignment of the die during the striking process, a rare occurrence that collectors covet because it's a direct glimpse into the mint's manufacturing quirks. Beyond double dies, other sought-after errors include off-center strikes where the coin's design is shifted from the center, and die cracks where tiny fractures create raised lines on the surface. These imperfections, while considered flaws in normal circumstances, become gold mines for numismatists who understand their rarity and value. Condition plays a critical role in the worth of any coin, and the 1979 D quarter is no exception. While many of these coins have circulated widely and show signs of wear, those found in near-perfect, uncirculated condition with sharp details and no surface damage are much rarer and more valuable. When combined with one of the rare mint errors, these pristine specimens can command prices far beyond the usual market rates for quarters from that era. This blend of condition, rarity, and error creates a perfect storm that has collectors and investors alike keeping a close eye out for these elusive coins. Now, the moment you've been waiting for: the value of the rare 1979 D quarter. While most coins from this year and mint mark trade for just their face value, those special error coins or flawless uncirculated pieces can be worth an astounding $79,000. That's right. One small quarter with the right characteristics could be worth enough to significantly impact a collector's portfolio or even change their life. This staggering value is a testament to the importance of rarity, historical significance, and the thrill of owning a coin that stands out in a sea of ordinary currency. if you come across a 1979 D quarter, don't just toss it in your pocket or piggy bank. Take a careful look with a magnifying glass to check for any unusual doubling, off-center designs, or surface lines that might indicate an error. Even the smallest anomalies could be your ticket to owning one of the most valuable quarters out there. If you believe you have discovered a rare error or an uncirculated specimen, it's best to have it authenticated and graded by a professional to understand its true worth and protect your investment. Top 6. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the United States quarter dollar from 1972. At first glance, this coin might look like just another quarter you find in your change, but believe me, there's more to this 1972 quarter than meets the eye. If you're a collector or just someone intrigued by rare coins and their hidden stories, listen closely as we uncover the rarity, fascinating mint errors, and the astonishing value that some of these quarters can hold. The 1972 quarter comes from a significant era in U.S. coinage when millions of quarters were produced across different mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these coins were struck perfectly for everyday use, but among them lurk rare varieties and errors that make certain 1972 quarters stand out in the world of numismatics. These coins are a reminder of the minting process's complexity and the small imperfections that sometimes slipped through, turning ordinary quarters into highly sought-after collectibles. Understanding the history and the variations that exist helps collectors appreciate just how special some 1972 quarters truly are. One of the most remarkable features that makes some 1972 quarters so valuable is the presence of minting errors. For instance, the double die variety is among the most famous errors for this year's quarters. This occurs when the coin's design, particularly the date or lettering, appears doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. The effect is subtle but striking and instantly grabs the attention of collectors. Other notable errors include die cracks, which create tiny raised lines on the coin's surface, and off-center strikes, where the coin's image is shifted noticeably to one side. These imperfections, which would be considered defects on ordinary coins, actually transform these quarters into rare and valuable specimens that collectors prize highly. But it's not just about errors. Condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's value. The 1972 quarter was widely circulated, so finding one in near mint or uncirculated condition is becoming increasingly rare. A pristine 1972 quarter with sharp details and no signs of wear can command a much higher price, especially if it also has a notable mint error. Collectors value these coins not only for their rarity but also because they represent a perfect snapshot of American coinage during the early 1970s. When you combine rarity, condition, and unique errors, you get coins that are true treasures. Now, let's talk about value, because what good is a rare coin if it doesn't come with an impressive price tag? Most 1972 quarters you'll come across are worth just a few cents or maybe $1 if they're in exceptional condition. However, those rare error coins, especially double dies or off-center strikes in pristine condition, can fetch an extraordinary price. Some of these exceptional coins have been known to sell for as much as $83,000. Yes, that's right, one small quarter from 1972 could be worth enough to make a serious impact on a collector's portfolio or even change someone's financial life. It's a stunning reminder of how value can hide in the smallest places. If you find yourself holding a 1972 quarter, take a moment to inspect it carefully. Use a magnifying glass and look for any signs of doubling on the date or lettering, any off-center designs, or unusual lines that could indicate die cracks. Don't overlook even the smallest detail, because sometimes the most subtle irregularities are the key to unlocking a coin's true worth. And if you think you found something special, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded and authenticated to know exactly what you have and to maximize its potential value. Top 7 and last rare coin, we're exploring a truly fascinating piece from American numismatic history, the United States quarter dollar from 1967. At first glance, the 1967 quarter might seem like just another common coin, but dig a little deeper and you'll discover a world of rarity, intriguing mint errors, and exceptional value that can surprise even the most seasoned collectors. If you're passionate about coins or just curious about what makes some quarters priceless, listen carefully and enjoy this detailed journey into the story behind the 1967 quarter. The 1967 quarter came from a unique period in U.S. coin production history. It was part of the era right before the country transitioned away from using silver in quarters, marking the end of an important chapter. Millions of these coins were minted for everyday use, flooding circulation and changing hands millions of times. But despite their abundance, certain varieties and errors from 1967 make some quarters extremely rare and highly sought after. These rarities are a window into the mint's complex production process, where even the smallest imperfection can elevate a coin from everyday money to an extraordinary collectible. Understanding the context and the minting techniques of the time helps reveal why some 1967 quarters have become so valuable. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1967 quarter is the range of mint errors that collectors eagerly chase. Perhaps the most famous error for this year is the double die variety, where the coin's date or lettering appears doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. This subtle yet captivating effect creates a coin that looks almost like it has a shadow or echo in the design, making it stand out instantly. Additionally, some 1967 quarters show die cracks or faint off-center strikes, which happen when the dies used for minting get damaged or misaligned. These errors are incredibly rare and give each coin a unique story, making them treasures for collectors who understand their significance. But rarity and errors are only part of the story. The condition of the coin also plays a crucial role in determining its worth. Since these quarters circulated widely, finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition without wear or damage is becoming increasingly difficult. Coins that have retained their sharp details, original luster, and error characteristics are true gems in the numismatic world. When condition and rarity combine, the value of a 1967 quarter can skyrocket beyond what most would expect. Collectors and investors know that these well-preserved coins with unique errors represent not only history but also a promising investment. Now, let's reveal the value that makes the 1967 quarter so remarkable. While the average 1967 quarter may only be worth a few cents, those rare error coins or uncirculated specimens can command staggering prices. Some of the finest examples of the 1967 quarter have been known to sell for as much as $86,000. Imagine that, a single small coin from your pocket could be worth enough to change your financial future. This incredible price reflects the coin's historical significance, scarcity, and the thrill collectors experience when finding something truly unique. If you happen to come across a 1967 quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. Use a magnifying glass to look for any signs of doubling in the date or lettering, off-center images, or faint cracks on the surface. Even the slightest irregularity could be your ticket to owning a valuable and rare coin. And remember, if you believe you found an error or a coin in exceptional condition, it's always wise to get it professionally graded and authenticated. This will confirm its value and protect your treasure for years to come. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the incredible 1967 United States quarter dollar. If you enjoyed learning about rare coins, mint errors, and their fascinating values, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any exciting coin discoveries. Keep your collections growing, stay curious, and who knows, the next quarter you find might be worth $86,000.